Hello everyone, welcome you all. This is Suresh from Mr. Automation channel. Today in this session we're going to learn about Python loops. As part of loops we will discuss about for loop. So far we have seen decision making where we have discussed about control statements on if else and if else ladder and nested if conditions. So if you are new to this session, do watch that session and let's get started. And this is a PyCharm editor and this is our project, sample project. I will create a new Python file again. So go to project, right click and go to new, go to Python file and let's say loops. Under loops we are discussing about for loop, right? So for loop is as similar as if condition, but in if condition we will see for only one specific condition whether it's meeting or not. In for loop what happens, we can iterate our conditions based on our reputations. So how the structure of for loop will be, for loop structure, so we will be having a iterating variable followed by for. So for example I, so I will be an iterating variable and from a sequence, so I need a sequence or I need something to iterate it. For example, let's say a string. So this is a string I wanted to iterate. So first I will give this string as str equals let me give this as Python, right? Now I wanted to iterate this string with the iterating variable one by one based on the characters. So I will print this, print I. So this is simple, right? Let me quickly run this program and see what we will see in logs. So you can see it is iterating the entire string in a character wise. So Python is printed one by one in a complete line. So now I wanted to try some more examples. For example, I wanted to print some addition or subtraction or multiplication table. So for example, I wanted to print something like a multiplication table. So for I will give table equals to, I wanted to capture this as part of user input variables. I think spell mistake, input. So here I will say enter a number. So this is a variable I wanted to capture from user based on runtime. So in the for loop I wanted to iterate this with I. So we can iterate with the range. So we have a range function here, range, and in the range function we can provide a number length or a range between 1 and 11. So 11 will not be considered here. So 11 is the maximum number, so it will ignore that number, and between 1 to 10 it will count that. So now I wanted to do some multiplication with using our I, which is an iterating variable, and with the number which is given from user input and with a range of 1 to 10. So here I wanted to use table into I, right? This will print my entire multiplication of number whatever I given. So let's execute this program. Let me print this, print x, and right click and run this program. And here we need to enter our number, let's say 6, right? We can see entire 6 multiplication here, but I wanted to print in a proper manner. I wanted to see in a multiplication table kind. So how the tables will be 6 1 to 1 equal to 6, something like that. So if you wanted to expect that here, so it's very simple here. Let me give this table. So table is a number which we will expect first, then after followed by. So you can separate using comma, or you can use a concatenate variable in Python to append other variables. So followed by asterisk, and then we have again I, and then we need equals, for say equal, and then followed by x, whatever x it is multiplying, right? That we need to capture. Right, now let me run this program again. So this time will take 7. So now you can see entire 7 table is printed here. So this is how we can use the range with for loop in addition with our input variable, which is user defined variables. Now for example, if you wanted to print something like a triangle or some pattern, so for that we can use the nested for loops. So in for loop also we have some nested for loops. We'll see that now. Let me remove this program here. So for nested for loops, we need to required number of rows. I wanted to print some pattern. So for that I will take rows equal to this. Why I am keeping this int in the input variable, because whenever we take the input, that is in the form of string. I wanted to convert that to integer. So if you are new to this session, do watch my session on Python type conversion, where I have discussed entirely on this. So I can provide input. So in the input I will say enter number of rows. Now in the next line I wanted to again start the for loop, and for loop I wanted to take the iterating variable, which is I, in a range. So in the range what I will do, I will take 0 comma. So whatever rows that I am printing, right, it has to be add 1 plus 1 to that rows. So if I am giving as 5, it will add plus 1, 6. So I will take row plus 1. So this, why I am doing this program is to provide a nested for loop condition. So where we will print some pattern. So the one for loop is done. Now again one more for loop for j in range. So what range I need to take now? So I have taken I there, and with the range of 0 to row plus 1. Now in the nested for loop I will take I as a range here. So whatever I value is there, that many times this for loop will iterate. And in the next line I will take print some symbol called asterisk, and then after in the main for loop we will take just print, so that we will see some space. Let's quickly save and let me run this program again. I think there is a line error. Okay, this is not a star, this has to be in the string format, right? Now number of rows is 5. I think it is printed, but it is printed in a one by one order. So if I need to print them in a one single line, so we have some regex kind of approach in Python, which is end equals. So this will replace, or whatever value that we are entering, it will replace with that spaces, or enter everything, it will replace with nothing, so that we will see in the same line. So we'll discuss that in deeper when we come across that function. So we will enter number of rows. I will enter number of rows as 8. Now you can see pattern is printed in our console. So this is how we can maintain. And in for loop we have one more concept called, we can provide else condition. So we know that we can keep else condition with only if condition, but we can keep else part in with our for loop. So how we gonna do that else part here? So let me remove this simple one. So now I wanted to take a simplest form of for loop. So for loop I in range of 0 comma 5. So it will print the range, or it will take the range of 0 to 5, and let's say I will print I, and then in the else part, so else should be in for loop, not under for loop. Else followed by for loop, else print. So in the print, what I will print here, let's say, so this line why we are taking here is, so if there is no break statement in our for loop, our for loop will keep on iterate, and after that this will come into the else part. From else part it will print whatever function that we defined here instead of for loop, instead of print statement. So let me run this again. Now you can see it has printed 0 to 4 and it says for loop exhausted completely and there is no break statements, so I am printing here. So whatever function that is in the else part, that will print in our console, or that will take the action. Now I wanted to keep a break inside for loop. So what will happen now? So if I keep the break statement in the for loop and try to run this, so we don't see this else part again here. See, this is the what we will expect, and we can keep on iterate or keep on try for different conditions for loop with if conditions, and under that nested for loops we can try if condition. Do pause this video and try your own example, and if you face any errors, you can comment in my comment section. I will help you out. And in case if you are new to my channel, do subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.